Hello everyone, this is Tamil, and I just wanted to go over a few brushes that I found on the Clip Studio Paint store, and then after that I will have a speed painting. It actually turned out to be very long, so hopefully I can compress it enough so that you will enjoy watching it. In short, this video is for Clip Studio Paint's tips, and you can find all the links for the article and other things in the description. And I will try to link the brushes that you can buy. I bought them on the Clip Studio Paint official store with gold coins, so it was not that expensive, and I also had some coins left over in my account, so I decided might as well just use some. I found this sketching brush. It's literally just one brush, and it's very simple, kind of sketch look. And I used it actually to sketch the entire scene, and I really like it because it has this texture that feels like a pencil, and if I try to push harder, I'll get thicker strokes. It's super simple. I'm pretty sure you can use any other brush for this, but I tried it out and I really like it, especially if you're using a tablet screen. I think it's going to be like really good. The pencil brushes on the tablet screen are like really amazing sometimes. I really like it, and you can also fix the brush density. So there's the brush density, which is the main brush, but then there's also texture density that you can play with. So if you want more texture, and you can also play with the scale ratio, which I already did, so it's not like the original, but scale ratio of the texture also comes into the play. So it really is versatile and looks way better if it's a small brush. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, one of the brushes that I extensively used for my speed paint is this one, and it's just a regular textured brush. But the interesting part about it is that if I, let's say, press on my tablet with pressure sensitivity, I actually get the opposite effect of pressure. So the more I press on it, it goes the opposite way. It doesn't give me more ink. It actually goes the other way. It gives me less ink. So let's build the opacity, and then you can see that it's actually fading away. And it blends very nicely. And it has this very natural texture to it. So I can build up paint where I want, which is very nice. And then it's a pretty cool thing to use. But in general, I really like it, and I think it used for most of this painting. So the other one is actually pretty amazing brush set that I also found. Is it's made for action scenes and stuff like that. So if you have like a comic book or like manga you're reading, it's super amazing. I didn't use it as much for this painting, but I am going to use it later down the line. So this effects, you can actually use them as a brush, and depending on which way you use your brush towards, it will have a different angle, so you can create quick effects very easily. And the most amazing one, I think, is the sword one. So if you can see, I can actually, if let's say there's a ninja in here, and I can just do a swoosh, and it will look like a claw attack or something like that, right? So depending on the brush's sensitivity and the angle, you will actually get a different result. So it's pretty awesome. And there's not only one, but there's like way more. So there's like this one, which has more action to it. And there's this one, which is way thicker. So you have to be very careful with your brush direction. And I think it's very, very fun to mess around with. Like this one is very thick in the middle, but then thins out at the end. Like I think that's super amazing. And the other brush set, I think it's from a different brush set. but I believe it's the same person. I'm not sure. You will see all the links in the description and in the Clip Studio Paint article. This blood brush, which makes it super easy to add blend into your scene. The weird thing is that I only got one of the brush sets, and that person has actually more than one. There's I think four of different ways and different styles of blood that you can find, and each one is very like different from each other. So you can actually just get one and keep using it, and I think it looks awesome if you do some selection tools, for example, and then go back into the blood brush, I can actually probably control it more. So pretty fun. Highly recommend using. And for last brush set that I actually like is a huge library of destruction effects. I think some of it was pulled from the Clip Studio Paint materials and made into a brush, which makes it super easy to add, so you don't have to look for it every time. And some of it is like original. So there's things that are like super obvious, which is like just noise. But then there are things that are way more interesting. So for example, like rock textures that are flying in the air, and you can like add these super easily. And you can also change the color. So we'll change the color of the outline, or we'll change the color of the inside. So it's pretty awesome. You can look into the tutorial for that person on their page for the brushes, and this tree brush is also pretty awesome. So if you can see, I can like make a quick tree in like seconds. Not tree, but like more like a dead tree in literally like seconds. And I can just maybe take that and take this and delete it, and then I can make this part thicker. That is, and then that's it. And I can fill it, and I can just work with that and like build on top of that. So pretty awesome. There's rocks, there's glass, which is amazing. So flying glass at different angles. The one that I used for my painting were a lot of like explosions. So there's, I believe, 4 smoke ones and about 6 or 7 explosion ones. So I really like the smoke ones. For the reason being is because it depends on your brush direction and it ends, so I can actually vary where the brush will go. The only issue I have with these brushes, so you can keep that in mind, is that they're very, very sharp. So if you zoom in, it's actually dithered and it looks like pixel art. So what I did for my painting actually was that I made these different sprites and textures and stuff, and then I got into blur, and then blurred it like maybe by 2 pixels, and then made it look a little bit better from a distance because it looked way too sharp. So there's a lot of these, and there's also the explosions. It takes a little bit to load, so keep that in mind as well. And there's explosions that actually you can add them super quick and change the size, and then you can, obviously you shouldn't be using, I mean you could if you want, but it's just for a block out, and then after that I can like paint on top and like try to figure out what works best, and try to fix it to fit your scene better, because obviously not all people use this ink style or thickness of it. And then there's this brush which you can actually build big smokes of cloud. So amazing brushes, and highly recommend them. I will link them, and you will see the speed painting. So check out Clip Studio Paint tips, and happy painting.
you.